All right. What's up, guys? We are back with another one of the best games this last week in StarCraft. This one comes straight out of Group C of Asus ROG. It is Storm Gaming's MaxPax in the bottom left, the 16-year-old Danish Wunderkind. He is an incredible Protoss player, known for his Dark Templars, his cannon rushes, but also actually becoming one of the most well-rounded players in Europe. A very cheesy player to begin with, lots of proxy gates, of course, the proxying your first gateway across the map while expanding behind it in PVT was his namesake. Unfortunately for him, even though he's become one of the top 5 players in Europe very solidly, even defeating Serral in a recent series in the qualifier for this very tournament, he's up against, yeah, you see the name, it's Dark. Literally GSL champion, a world champion runner-up as well, and the most exciting Zerg to watch in the last year, who also happens to be early pooling and doing a hatch block cheese. Guys, this is Dark in the top right. Let's see how MaxPax handles this. He's going to build a hatchery. Wait, out front the wall? Surely you're going to build it in the wall, aren't you? I think the probe saw the drone come out, didn't it? 6 Zerglings are on the way. He's bringing another probe down. Yeah, he knows. Okay, so you don't want the hatchery to be able to wall you off, and he won't be able to now. With that second gateway up, he's going to have to build it like here or blocking the base, which is still annoying. Does he cancel this and build an Evo chamber, I wonder, though? Or is Dark going to full-on commit? It looks like he's going to full-on commit. We'll see exactly what the hell goes on. The probe there hiding, so that can block the expansion. So far, Dark is committing pretty hard. Cybercore. Ooh, okay, MaxPax has not built a forge. Guys, if your opponent 12 pools you and builds a hatchery in your base, if you want to be like 100% double down on the safety, you are meant to build a forge. But because he's pulled 5 probes, that hatchery is going to be almost dead by the time it pops. He's already got 1 zealot out, another zealot on the way. He built the second pylon. He paused his probe production for a moment so to make sure he could actually do this. And notice he's got 2 probes there, and their job is just to stop the zealot getting completely surrounded. Also, if you hit a Zergling twice with a zealot, it's almost dead. You add 1 probe hit, and it is dead. So the whole point here is you want to make sure that if you are fighting, as long as the probes are getting at least 1 hit on each of the Zerglings become much weaker to the Zealots. Now, he's going to take the fight. Dark taking the fight. Wow, that's a very brave engagement. But, I mean, MaxPax should be able to pull that red hit point Zealot back if he wants to. He does not. He doesn't want to let the Zerglings in, so he plays it a little bit more conservatively. Does end up losing both Zealots, though. But I think that's fine, because the Adepts are almost out, which means the Cybercore will not go down. He's going to build it. Wait, why would you build a Queen here? I guess with no Zealots, he thinks maybe MaxPax doesn't want to kill the hatchery, because the thing is, if you kill the hatchery, Broodlings are going to come out and kill some of your guys. Adepts are out. Adepts are easily going to take care of these Zerglings. I've been really critical of how much Dark overcommits to this push in the past. It is going to go down again. Oh, he's just going to go after the Adepts, is he? Okay, the Zerglings are going to break the Adept in the wall. This Adept, oh my god, she takes so much damage. She's got to get out of there. If that Adept goes down, this could get depowered. You lose those gateways, it's game over. The Zergling rally will take you down. It is only slow Zerglings, though. Shield battery goes down. That Adept needs to pop in the wall. Pop in the wall. Great rally point change, so she pops out in a more secure location. But since there were Zerglings coming from both sides, he feels like he's got to back off. And MaxPax, he cancels that shade. But guess what? That Adept down there, the probes get pulled. Okay, that one survives. This Adept still needs to be microed very well. The Adepts, of course, can out-micro Zerglings all day. Meanwhile, Dark goes for the dive, and he gets it. He gets the other Adept. Dude, this Adept has got 5 kills. She's going to take another Zergling. That's 6 kills. At the end of the day, though, Dark is on 12 workers. And that probe sees even more Zerglings at home. And once again, Dark's done it, guys. Dark has seen a player who's pretty well defended. And you know what's weird is he didn't pull drones. I feel like if you're going to go this committed, you kind of just want to pull drones, right? Because you're so all in anyway. I mean, what's this hatchery doing for you? This is the slowest transition of all time. MaxPax does not have a unit out, though. MaxPax being too greedy, wall off. Oh my god, he does it. He walls off in time, and he's got a double Adept pressure on the other side of the map. I think Dark is just dead, guys. I think MaxPax defended this too well. And I think what's really good about what MaxPax did is, I'm telling you, almost any player sees this rush from Dark and they build a forge. And when he sees the forge, he says, oh, you're overcommitting, you're building a forge, you're building a cannon. And normally what players will do then is transition out of it and not overcommit. Now, as I said, I've been critical of Dark because Dark's openings are... I love Dark. He's my favorite player. A lot of people think I don't because the way I talk about him, they're baboonish. It's the only way I can describe Dark's openings, guys. Macro, cheese, all in. His openings are baboonish. They really are. His micro is exceptional. His game sense exceptional, but his openings are kind of. There's a surprising amount of nonsense in how Dark opens in his games for how good he is at Starcraft, and the fact that he still wins most of those games, like the vast majority, against the best players in the world. it constantly shocks me. I honestly feel like if there's a guy, I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of superstitious about it. I was going to say that if he had a coach telling him how to open better, he would win every single game ever. Oh, the Overlord barely hides there. Nicely done. These Adepts still alive as well. That Overlord barely gets to this pillar where, of course, it can't get seen as that's high ground. I was going to say, like, that if a coach just fixed his openings with him, I think he'd be so much better. But then on the other hand, maybe he's one of these players who kind of thrives in the fucked up environments that he creates. And it's almost like he plays better when he's behind. So who knows? Maybe, maybe not. What I was going to say is, like, there's that series against Zest from, I think it was TSL, where Dark tried to cheese every game. And it was this map specifically, which was one of my favorite games I've cast in the last few months, because they both just absolutely tried to kill each other at all stages. But I believe that was a game where Zest saw the hatch, saw the 12 bull, built a forge, built cannons, and Dark kept committing. And I was like, oh, Dark's baited the massive overreaction. He's seen the massive overreaction with his Overlord. Now he's going to go droning, double expand behind it, and be in a good spot. And then Dark just kept like rallying slow zerglings into cannons, and I was like, the whole point of the 12 pool hatch push is to force an over response from the Protoss. I mean, I've watched enough Bly games to know that that's what the play is. Dark apparently has a bit of a different understanding to Bly or Vanya or any of the other Zergs that do this play who are like, I can't break it. Now, of course, MaxPax in this case, though, he is going to follow up with the Glaive Adept attack. He's got DT Shrine behind that. His third base is very slow. This is a giant attack. Nice wall off from Dark. MaxPax's just going to bust that Evo, and he's just going to focus the spine. This is so many Adepts, and there's like 2 roaches and a handful of slowlings. Oh my god. How often does Dark find himself in this circumstance? We saw this last time he played Zest on this map, guys. He defends his 12 pool gets defended, and then he ends up trying to defend Glaive Adepts with slow Zerglings and a couple Queens and emergency wall-offs. I mean, this is absolutely disastrous. If MaxPax just focused down the drones, I don't think there's any way he can lose, but as it is, I think he just wants to extend the situation because he's realizing, well, if you're only mining off one base, like, I'm doing so much damage, I don't need to actually kill the drones. MaxPax losing quite a few of these Adepts, though. The Roach is going to try and pursue him into that main. He's got to actually kill these drones, dude. Drones just sitting there. Only one of those 2 drones on gas went down. Time to trade off for the drones. 6 workers goes down. Bit of a questionable shade in there, I think. And he's going to try to shade up to the main. I mean, the income tab. I'm going to look at the income tab after this, and you guys are going to be grossed out. Right now, it's 1,900 minerals a minute for MaxPax, 200 minerals a minute for Dark. Oh my god, and the DT's here. That's game. There's no detection. There's no detection. And the DT is walking, and that is that. Let's watch that income tab. Yeah. I mean, it shows an exceptional advantage there for MaxPax. What it doesn't quite show is literally he was mining nothing. Dark commits pretty hard to his aggression. He almost broke MaxPax, but the Zealots, the Probes, the Wall-Offs, the Adept Micro, a little bit too good. MaxPax takes game 1. All right, taking map 1 against the big boy. Scythestorm's MaxPax now in the top right of 2,000 atmospheres. And it looks like he wants to send a probe across really early to make sure he can block the opponent's expansion. I think on this map, 13 pylon isn't enough to get the block off because it takes a while to get over there. Who knows? Anyway, Dark in the bottom left as well. So I wonder if that's the best response, just pull 5 probes so the hatchery is almost dead. Some people pull 7 probes so they have to cancel it or it'll die. But maybe 5 probes, get the second gateway, and obviously second pylon and chrono out 2 zealots and then build 2 adepts straight away is all very important. You've also got to have a good wall placement, right? MaxPax didn't have any one building like sticking out of his wall. If you have like say your cybercore or one gateway that's a bit too exposed, the Zerglings can actually kill it way too quickly. So really good response by MaxPax. I think if the drone surprises him, comes in, builds a hatchery blocking his wall off, I think he goes for the forge because it's more of an emergency then where you're like, oh shit, he can like cancel the hatch and then just flood Zerglings in, or he can let it finish and build spines in my wall. I think that's a more of an emergency situation where you kind of need to respect it with that forge cannon response. Spawning pool there, gas as well on the way. Now, MaxPax going for a pretty standard opening. This is just 20 Nexus, 20 Cybercore. This is the most vanilla opening you'll do in PvZ. His probe, of course, being a bit of a shithead. Now, if you guys are thinking about it, MaxPax is not really known as the absolute blitzingest, fastest players. I make fun of him for his maxi taxi in PvT. He's one of the best aggressive PvT players. But it's kind of funny because, like, his Blink Stalker attacks, he almost always does the parting like 4-gate Blink build, but he loses way more Stalkers and is not nearly as like, I'd say he's as decisive as parting, not as effective with his decisiveness as parting. His micro is not as good. And his multitasking isn't as good. He always flies his Warp Prism into turrets and Widow Mines and stuff. But on a strategic level, I think MaxPax might be the best Protoss in the world. He's definitely up there because like you just look at the way he plays and the decisions he makes, and like especially in PvP. I tell you, as a Protoss, if I was playing MaxPax, it is traumatic because number one, he will expand faster than you and defend almost any all-in. Even on maps like this that don't have ramps, he'll just take a low ground expand. But then he'll also find a way to get DTs into your base when you don't have detection. And he won't, it's not planned. It's not something you can read from his build. MaxPax understands the game state so well. He has this like special alarm that goes off in his brain where he goes, 2 minutes from now, there's no way they'll have detection. And it just like clicks and he drops a fucking Dark Shrine. And he does it at the most random times where no one else would do it. And then the DTs walk in and people never have detection against MaxPax DTs. In PvP, PvT, even PvZ like in that last game. He's got this fucking weird sixth sense of when invisible men will win the game. And he really is, like I said, a fantastic strategic player. But if you make the game messy enough, he does show weakness. Compared to these guys who are obviously years and years more experienced than him, his micro is not bad. I'm not saying he's like, you know, a Haas level player where he's just making billions of mistakes once he gets to mid game and late game. No, he's still very, very good at every stage of the game. It's just you put him in a situation where someone like Solar is just like throwing wave after wave of Queen Ravager Ling into his third base. And I mean, I guess I get this feeling partially because I'm watching MaxPax play cross-server, number one. So he's trying to defend with very fragile Protoss units playing with lag a lot of the time. So I'm often casting him with lag, playing from Denmark to a North American server. So I guess I should give him that. I'm also watching him play at like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning a lot of the time for MaxPax. So I should give him some benefit of the doubt. Who knows? I think this tournament was played at a bit of a better time of day, but it still, of course, would have been played on a US server in between both players. That adept's going to go down, but yet again, pylon wall off there, and that's perfectly fine as a trade. You kill all the Zerglings. Third base is on the way. Obviously, the Oracle only got a single kill, which is not amazing, but this is just one Oracle, one Void Ray. 2 more gases go down. We're about to find out what the tech is. Second Stargate. He's definitely very good with his Void Rays. He kills that Overlord at the front of the base. And it is going to be second Stargate. Okay. Dark, on the other hand, has a Spore in the main, Spore in the natural, and a Spore in the third. Oh, I was going to say very safe play from Dark, but actually he's only on 4 Queens. So he's building a 5th now, but that's still very light on Queens for playing against Stargate. So Dark's prioritized just like droning, minimal Queen response, but add the safety Spore in each base, as obviously the Spore does damage a lot quicker than a Queen. You're also, the cool thing about a Spore Crawler against an Oracle is you're not going to mess it up and run it out of the base. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I try to skip out on the spores, I at some point I get impatient. I'm like, I'm going to pull my Queens away from my main now, and the Oracle flies in, and I'm like, you idiot pig. Oracle did only get 1 more kill though, but dude, even more Zerglings going down. Oh my god, so he's only lost 1 Adept so far, even those Adepts shade out to safety. Dude. The Void Ray is coming in. Oh my god, he gets another... Guys, look at the value. 3 drones, 12 Zerglings, 2 Creep Trimmers, and Overlord for 1 Adept. Nothing has happened for Dark in this game. And I mean, he's going to go for the Shield Battery. He's going to lose every Zergling doing this, guys. The probes probably should have A-moved there. He can just run these probes away. And that Void Ray, you don't want to fight on top of a Void Ray unless you have a fantastic fight. It's kind of a rule of Zerg versus Protoss these days. And Dark there... Units lost tab, not looking too great for him. On the other hand, worker count is even, which is actually quite okay for Zerg, as long as he kind of finishes saturating his bases right now. He's got 14 more workers popping out. So normally the kind of benchmark, guys, is you want to hit 3 base, full saturation, 66 drones by 6 minutes. And Dark's just a few seconds behind that. So it's not the worst thing by any means. There are like Raynor games where he has like the perfect early game and he hits it at like 5 minutes 40. 66, 67 workers, and you're like, oh, okay, you're good at this game. Now, Dark doesn't have a 4th base, and you might be like, oh, that's strange. Well, not really, because even when he's all-inning, his 4th comes down at the exact same time as when he's macroing. Dark likes to build a lot of units off 3 base, play very safe like that. And good defense there by Dark, only loses 3. Oh, Chandray's in the main, there's no way he kills that. Does bait the queens up here into a fight, though. MaxPax pulls back the weak one, forces a transfuse or two out, does chip away at that layer a little bit. And behind this... Oh, he's playing full Sky Toss. Oh, MaxPax really going for the absolute ladder virgin style. He's like, I'm building a forge, I'm going to make cannons and also flying units that I attack move. So we're not going to see if he has good mechanics or not this game because he won't have to do anything other than click on his opponent's attack move in the direction of their army. I'm just kidding, guys. He's making a Robo Bay. He'll have to micro disruptors. This is actually a pretty good style, especially I think against Dark. Dark has shown weakness to this style, so it makes a lot of sense to do it to him. Some Zergs, like, I don't think anyone does this versus Serral, what MaxPax is doing. At least I haven't seen it in a while, because Serral fucking kills them when they try it. But there's a lot of players have shown this style versus Dark in recent months, and I think it's because he does struggle against mass air. He really does. Because the problem that Dark often has is he likes to make Ravages no matter what. Now, in this case, he has snuck out 10 mutas, but it's not the fastest mutas. Guys, it's almost 8 minutes in the game, and there's already a cannon in each base. There's no battery in the main, so they could just kill quite a few probes, but with Phoenix production already on the way, I mean, MaxPax, did he see the Spire? He did see the Spire, so committing to mutas after having your Spire spotted, that's a risky proposition. I think this is bad awareness by Dark. I think he assumes that his Spire didn't get spotted. Yeah, he's going to try and stop the Phoenix production. Little does he know there's a bunch of Phoenix already out, and he's cornered, guys. I mean, the mutas are going to try and get a Phoenix, but oh, he's got to get more kills than this. This is not enough. The Void Rays are on the way. You can see them on the minimap. They're just over here on the left of our screen right now, entering in. He's going to get 8 probes, which sounds okay. He gets 1 or 2 Phoenix kills as well. But does get chased out of there for what... I mean, that's a 4-base Protoss, guys. I don't think MaxPax cares. He's got 2 cannons and a Void Ray guarding that base. Dark's trying to throw these Roaches away in small numbers, but notice he's still building Roaches, and this is classic Dark, guys. Dark thinks Roaches shoot up. Now, the problem, you might think, what an idiot, is he often beats air with mass Ravages. And it shouldn't happen. He's only seen flying units from his opponent, and he's still massing Roach Ravager Queen. Queens shoot up, they do okay, and he's got 14 of them. So the idea here is he's going to use Ravager Biles to stop the Void Rays from fighting, make them be dodging Biles all the whole time, play dodge the Bile, and the Queens are going to try to kill everything else. Problem for him, there's cannon battery everywhere. MaxPax, though, only spotting this push now, so he didn't get time to get more batteries up, and he's only got 1 disruptor. You need 2 disruptors in the center of mass of the Queens to really kick their ass. Roach is splitting into the left side as well. There are 2 cannons over there. He's going to send Zealots across the map. Charge is not done. Meanwhile, mutas fly into the main, just being distracting. The Phoenix will deal with that. At the front, it looks like a disruptor shot just took out a Ravager. Oh, he's trying to focus the Ravagers down. Dark here, missing a couple of transfuses, but dude, the Ravagers are dying a bit too quickly. Those Ravagers are going down. Over on the left side, the Nexus is going to go down here. That Nexus will go down. We're going to keep that selected. You guys can monitor its hit points in the bottom right of your screen if you want to see. It looks like Dark stopped attacking it, though, and a big disruptor shot lands on the Queens. And Dark's army is getting ravaged here, man. Dude, he hasn't done critical damage. He's only killed 7 workers. His mutas got cleaned up in the main. They killed a few probes and a gas. That Nexus is getting very low, but it's getting healed. He's got the shield battery healing it. Oh my god, the shield battery's trying to out-heal it. Will it keep it alive, though? Oh my god, the Void Ray's trying to come for the save. He didn't battery overcharge it yet, though. Oh, it's going to go down. Okay, Dark gets a base snipe. He's picking off a few more workers here. Tempest's outranging Queens. Very effective in this scenario. Disruptor only hitting a single Queen. They're not that effective. 15 probes. The damage is stacking up. Dark here may have actually found the damage with what was an incredibly late Queen Roach Ravager max out. Just to benchmark it, guys, this hit about 45 to 50 seconds later than Raynor was hitting this same attack in that World Championship Grand Finals and Semi-Finals and so on up against Trap and Zest and the like. So this was not a particularly well-timed opening, and that's because the opening for Dark didn't go that well. Remember, MaxPax stacked up a lot of damage with his Adepts, with his Oracles. This did not hit that early, but Dark, the goddamn wizard that he is, finds 28 probes of kills. MaxPax, is he actually going to commit? Oh, this is wild, dude. This is such a dangerous counter push, but MaxPax is not probing. MaxPax is going all in. Oh, he doesn't get the disruptors. Okay, is there enough Queen Corruptor? Dark's got to pull back. Dark, you can't fight. Run. Dark, why are you fighting here, dude? Get behind your spores. Build more spores. Oh my god, his Corruptors are fighting into Prismatic Aligned Void Rays. Dark, what are you doing, bro? The moment he activated Prismatic, Dark needed to run away. Wait for more Corruptors and Queens and Spores. He's also got more Queens sitting at all of his bases. He's got Spores at his other bases that he didn't bring into the fight. A big mistake from Dark here. I think he thought that Roach run by was going to pull MaxPax's attention away. MaxPax though is like, fuck that shit. You can kill my economy. I'm all in, bro. You already ruined my economy. These two Zealots tearing up the mineral line on the left. He does take out 1 or 2 Void Rays, but there's still 5 Void Rays and 3 Tempests, which, I mean, let's be real. They're not the most powerful units, guys. Tempests are really bad. They're good for chipping at units over long term, over long range, but right now they're not the most effective. It's just the rally is so weak for Dark. I'm amazed he hasn't brought his other Spores over. That's one of those things you do in these emergency situations. Queens are coming from the right. That Spore on the natural has done a lot of damage. That Void Ray does go down, but only 2 Queens at a time. And the Corruptors, it's a trickle, dude. Dark did not have the economy behind that. He dumped so much money into the Roach Ravager Queen. He did not have the money. He's taking down the Void Rays, but he's already lost so many workers and he just can't quite defend it. And MaxPax gets the 2 bloody 0 there. Dude. Okay, let's go back and look at that fight, because I do think this was a little bit of a throwy from Dark. I think he may have bowled this one, towards the end of it. A bit of a sloppy one. I think he just kind of underestimated this army, and I get it. It's 2 Tempests, there's no carriers, it's just 9 Void Rays and 2 Tempests. Well, first problem, they have fuck Veins upgrades, these Void Rays, right? So they move real fast, right? 4.65, your Queens only move at bloody 3.5 or some shit like that, way slower. But yeah, in this scenario, I'll often even build like a couple Spores, like or something like that. Now, the problem is they can always go in your main, so it's kind of hard to have the Spores in the right position. And he's trying to build Corruptors and Queens here, but yeah, definitely it's like, you can see that he's only got 10 Corruptors building now. Against this army, you need to probably get out like, if you get 15 Corruptors plus 8, 9 Queens, you'll be fine. He's got 9 Queens, 10 Corruptors popping. He just needs to get them all together. So there's a Queen there that hasn't pulled. He's got to bring these Spores over just to buy time. Anything to buy time. Bring that Spore forward, build a few more Spores. But I really think he should have pulled behind the hatchery and watched me bronze to GM, you know? I've talked to you guys a lot about how just not fighting when your opponent wants to fight is really important. Remember, MaxPax was not reprobing, not rebuilding his base on the left. He's only got 50 workers, and he's literally just making +2 in Void Rays. He's sending 2 Zealots to counterattack. His Disruptors walk into Roaches and die. He's rallying Void Rays across map. This is a desperate attack. And Dark choosing to fight here, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to try to bait out the Prismatic alignment. Cool, now you pull back. And then Dark keeps fighting. I know that Queens can't really run away from Void Rays very well, so I think maybe you just argue that him being out there in the first place was the big mistake. He should have already pulled back, already had more Queens and Spores all congregating on this location. And remember, guys, Spores only take 21 seconds to build. It's one of the fastest building defensive structure. I think it might be the fastest defensive structure. Let me know. I know a bunker's 29 seconds, cannon's about 29, 30 seconds as well. Spine's about 30 seconds or something, 35. So yeah, I'm pretty sure a Spore is the fastest building defensive structure. And while they're not great versus Void Rays, they're incredibly cheap as well. Shield Battery is actually pretty quick as well, about the same, about 18 or 21 seconds as well. So very similar to that. So yeah, I mean, this was a real sloppy fight, but just a good stiff counter push from MaxPax. And honestly, the fact that he did the damage in the first place was kind of surprising. So let me benchmark this for you. Remember, guys, that Raynor was hitting a maxed out Roach Ravager Queen timing at 8 minutes 30, I believe it was, in the World Championship. This is 50 seconds later than that. And while he's got an impressive Ravager count, Ravagers are so expensive, man. Remember, each Ravager is 100 minerals, 100 gas. One way to think of that is a Mutalisk. So this is like, oh, I've got 12 plus, I've got 14 Mutalisks in here, and they're very fragile and vulnerable. Apparently a battery is the same as a cannon, 29 seconds according to chat. Is it? Oh, so it is. Oh, it used to be shorter, didn't it? I think they, in the very early days. Yeah. It's just it has less hit points. Yeah. Because I think it used to take less time, and people complained about it back in the very early days of the shield battery. Yeah, I think going Mutas into a player who saw your Stargate is your Spire is not that great. I think MaxPax was already in a good position. He built a good amount of static D across his bases. He defended really well. He microed really well. The Disruptors are so good versus this sort of attack. I think this sort of attack, if he doesn't build the Disruptors, Yeah, this could totally work, right? But let's just take a look at the disruptors. Oh, first hit actually got 4 Ravagers. I did not realize that hit 4 Ravagers, guys. But then also look at the Void Ray focus fire. He actually kills quite a lot of these Ravagers. And that does just limit the ability of the ground units to swell in. And remember, when there's no Roaches or Ravagers or Zerglings, Queens don't really do that much damage. It gives you a lot of time to respond, right? So by taking down the Ravagers, it allows the Disruptors to ever so slowly kind of deal with this problem. Oh, and look at that. I told you guys 2 Disruptor shots in the center of mass. 5 Queens go down. This is why you kind of need to have more units kind of rallying in and overwhelming. But check it out, guys. These Zealots, these slow Zealots, he said they're not going to help in the frontal fight right now. But if I send those across, guess what? They pulled all the Zerglings home. And they even killed the Roach Warren. And I think that's actually why Dark lost this game. Because remember, guys, Dark counters air units with Roaches. He's also building Roaches rather than Zerglings, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if that's because he saw the Roach Warren was going to die. But if he could have just made Mass Ravager, he probably would have beat the Void Ray on the counterattack, right? Because Ravagers shoot up, don't they? I'm not even kidding, guys. The number of times he's defended Void Rays and Carriers with Ravagers is actually ridiculous. Dark is a savage. But I do think he's a little weak to this style at the moment because no matter what you show him, at the moment in Zerg vs Protoss, Dark will make Queens and he will make Ravagers. Whether he's playing macro or a big attack like this, he always makes Roach Ravager, even if you don't build a single ground unit. And I think that is a very questionable thing. I think it also partially comes back to the fact that Dark doesn't scout very much. So if you look in the mid game before the mutas fly in, he scouted 1 Stargate earlier. And other than that, Dark plays very blind. And it is hard to scout versus Void Rays. But just remember, guys, you can do things like send an Overseer down both sides of the map at once. And honestly, in this sort of game, the Void Rays weren't even looking to deny that much. He absolutely could have got in and confirmed, hey, you're going full Sky Toss. There's a Fleet Beacon, a second Stargate. And maybe chose to do a different strategy. Also, I think there is definitely an option to not let the 4th get up, right? If you're a bit more active with Zerglings, you stop these Adepts controlling the map so much. I mean, potentially just a pack of Zerglings denying this quickly would have been really nice early on. I think likewise, because he's already got some Roaches and Lings, you could do something at this point where it's like Roach Ling attacks this base on the right, and then a pack of Lings runs in and denies the left side. So anything like that in the mid stage would be really good. But just that Spire getting spotted much earlier, Dark not realizing it, a huge problem. Investing in mutas there, he did not find the damage he needed. GG's. Nice series though. A great win for MaxPax to start off the group.